Beneath the surface, something ancient is waiting to be found. Under the Island drops players into a mysterious underground world where curiosity drives every decision. The protagonist navigates crumbling ruins and flooded caverns with quiet purpose, keeping momentum steady throughout. Combat and exploration maintain a natural rhythm, rewarding patience while gradually increasing in complexity. Hidden passages and upgrades give each run a sense of discovery that never dulls. The atmospheric pixel art and brooding soundtrack reinforce tension without overwhelming the gameplay. Blasphemous is a dark, atmospheric action platformer with brutal combat and a deep, unsettling world. The pixel art is rich with detail, every frame oozing with eerie religious iconography. Combat is punishing but fair, rewarding patience and precision. The soundtrack perfectly complements the oppressive tone, enhancing each twisted corner of CV Stodia. Exploration is rewarding, packed with hidden secrets and lore that begs to be uncovered. A must-play for those who appreciate challenging gameplay wrapped in striking art and unforgettable world building. Neon Abyss throws players into chaotic, neon-lit runs packed with action and randomness. Each run feels fresh, thanks to a wild mix of weapons, items, and unpredictable room layouts. The roguelite progression is addictive, with new rooms and characters unlocking steadily. Visually, it's loud and punchy, and the soundtrack keeps the energy high. The bosses are fun to learn, and the pet system adds just the right touch of madness. A great choice when quick reflexes and a bit of chaos sound like a good time. Darkwood is a survival horror game in which players must create weapons, set traps, and construct hideouts to navigate the Soviet bloc's gloomy woodlands. The game's terrifying powers contaminate the woods, resulting in a tense atmosphere in which players must wait for the light to dawn. Players must unearth the locals' secrets in order to flee the contaminated area before it eats them. Darkwood offers an atmospheric horror experience, a day and night cycle, dynamic maps and events, crafting mechanics, building up character using skills and perks, a hands-off approach, and an unfolding storyline. Towerfall thrives as a couch multiplayer gem where every arrow shot feels like a battle of wits. Matches are quick but intense, rewarding sharp reflexes and clever tactics. The simple controls make it easy for newcomers to join in, yet there's incredible depth once the chaos ramps up. Power-ups keep each round unpredictable, while the retro-style visuals and energetic soundtracks set the perfect mood. What makes Towerfall special is the laughter and rivalry it sparks, making every match a memory worth repeating. OMNO is a serene adventure filled with wonder, light puzzles, and thoughtful world design. Each region feels inviting, with creatures that react in gentle, unexpected ways, encouraging curiosity rather than conflict. Platforming sections are simple yet satisfying, and the sense of discovery remains engaging throughout the journey. The ambient soundtrack adds warmth and depth, giving every moment a calm, uplifting tone. This peaceful journey leaves a pleasant, lasting impression long after the final area is explored. VASARA Collection revives classic arcade intensity with twin-stick precision and bold visual flair. Both original games and the modern remake keep the tension high, packing each moment with dodging, slashing, and clever weapon management. Enemies pour in from every corner, but the smooth controls and rewarding power-ups make every victory feel earned. The fusion of feudal Japan aesthetics and futuristic warfare gives it a distinct identity that stays memorable for anyone who enjoys fast-paced, skill-driven shoot-'em-ups. Mystik Belle Enchanted Edition is a colorful, retro-inspired platformer with clever puzzles and satisfying progression. The pixel art carries a nostalgic charm, while the spell-based combat and light Metroidvania structure keep the gameplay engaging. Backtracking feels purposeful thanks to smart item gating, and the humorous dialogue adds personality throughout. Soundtrack suits the magical school setting perfectly, and each area feels thoughtfully designed. A light-hearted tone balances well with challenging moments. The Karate Kid Street Rumble is an exciting pixel art, side-scrolling beat-em-up adventure game. You can relive the thrills of the first three legendary The Karate Kid movie from the 1980s. Immerse yourself in a brilliantly designed pixel art environment, addressing legendary moments with spectacular 16-bit realism. The game boasts a classic storyline, compelling battle systems, big boss fights, and 12 stages inspired by the original trilogy. Enjoy the vintage chiptune soundtrack and join forces with pals for an amazing battle experience. Fans of the oldies should not miss out on this game. Space Adventure Cobra: The Awakening is a fun sci-fi action game that stays true to the classic anime spirit. Fast shooting, flashy visuals, and bold characters keep the pace lively. Levels feel varied and never drag, with boss fights that reward smart movement and timing. The soundtrack adds energy, and the humor lands well. Fans of retro action and arcade-style gameplay will find plenty to enjoy here. Combat feels responsive, controls are easy to learn, and the difficulty curve stays fair without frustration. Pixel Grit meets mall-era chaos in a throwback brawler built for easy laughs and skill growth. Jay and Silent Bob roam familiar corridors as unlikely heroes, clearing trouble with simple controls and sharp timing. Combat flows in brisk bursts, balancing crowd control with readable patterns that reward calm play. Unlocks, branching routes, and character tweaks add reasons to replay without slowing the pace. Chunky sprites and a punchy soundtrack support the tone without stealing focus. This stands as a compact game that respects time and keeps momentum. Ankora Lost Days is a delightful survival experience that seamlessly integrates exploration, crafting, and storytelling. As Mun, a stranded space explorer, you must adapt to the colorful, hand-painted environment of Ankora, conquering obstacles using tools you make along the way. The slow pace, warm environment, and absence of fighting make for a soothing experience, ideal for unwinding. The world seems alive, with mysteries to be discovered, and progress is satisfying. If you prefer quiet, exploration-driven games with touching images, this is a pleasant adventure you should take. Golf Story combines the exhilarating sport of golf with a gripping story that develops across 8 different courses. Follow the journey of a golfer who must give up everything for his ultimate goal. However, the world of golf is far from easy. To outperform current players, one must succeed both on the course and in social relations. Enjoy the freedom to tee off from any location. Discover the unexpected answers that may be accomplished by hitting a golf. Immerse yourself in 8 distinctive environments, each with its own set of courses, challenges, characters, and hidden riches. Super Chariot turns a simple concept into a clever and engaging puzzle platformer. The physics-based mechanics demand teamwork, precision, and timing, especially in co-op. Level design encourages exploration without feeling repetitive, and the visuals are vibrant with a whimsical art style. The humor lands well, and the challenge builds at a satisfying pace. Momentum and rope mechanics are surprisingly strategic, a smart choice for anyone who enjoys couch co-op and inventive traversal-based gameplay. Scrap Riders is a future cyberpunk adventure game in which players take on the role of Rast, a member of the Scrap Riders, an outlaw motorcycle gang. The game transports players across barren wastelands and sprawling metropolises governed by corporations. As a smuggler with a keen wit, players must overcome the difficulties of this post-apocalyptic world. The game has classic adventure gameplay, cutting comedy, a beat-em-up style, character growth and progression, a deep narrative with substantial mythology, original music written specifically for scrap writers, and challenging puzzles. Metaloid Origin is a 2D platformer game in which players control predator android soldiers battling a robot army led by Lucian Corp. The game has 9 stages with different gameplay elements such as waterfall caverns, scooter interceptions, volcano mine cart trips, and huge walker combat. Players may earn Solarium gems to unlock new equipment and weaponry, which can be accessible at any time via the pause menu. The game also has 2 difficulty settings, with high difficulty bringing quicker adversaries, greater damage, and additional attack kinds, giving players an exciting experience. Primal Light is a side-scrolling action platformer with a retro soul and sharp pixel art. The controls feel precise, and each enemy encounter demands focus and timing. Level design stays fresh with clever traps and varied enemies, keeping momentum high without being overwhelming. The soundtrack adds a moody edge that pairs perfectly with the strange, otherworldly environments. This is a solid homage to 16-bit classics, packed with just enough challenge to keep players locked in from beginning to end without feeling unfair or repetitive. Teppo in the Secret Ancient City is a delightful surprise, blending clever puzzles with a charming art style that feels like a living storybook. The level design is thoughtful and rewarding, encouraging exploration without ever feeling overwhelming. Teppo himself is an instantly likable character, and the unfolding mystery keeps you hooked from start to finish. The soundtrack adds a layer of magic, perfectly complementing the game's atmosphere. It's a wonderfully crafted adventure that's both relaxing and engaging, a hidden gem well worth discovering. Last Beat Enhanced is a slick throwback to classic beat-em-ups with a modern polish. The art style pops with vibrant pixel visuals, and the soundtrack fuels every punch and combo with adrenaline. Controls are tight and responsive, making each fight feel satisfying and skill-based. Co-op mode adds tons of replay value, especially with friends. The added enhancements over the original bring smoother animations and more refined gameplay. It's a joyful, fast-paced brawler that nails both nostalgia and fun in equal measure. The Skylia Prophecy is an action RPG set in a medieval fantasy universe, where the heroine, Mirenia, goes on a quest for forgiveness after unwittingly releasing a demonic entity. She travels to Tirken Fortress to cast an old ritual to end the horror she unleashed 3 years ago. Mirenia must decide whether to use her shield blade to achieve her aim or to aggravate the situation. The game's various locations, old dungeons, and zombie swarms are inspired by the Souls series. Players may collect incentives to reduce the game's difficulty and affect the final stages. No Longer Home is a quietly powerful narrative experience that captures the bittersweet feeling of life in transition. Its hand-drawn art style and dreamy atmosphere pull you into a deeply personal story about identity, uncertainty, and saying goodbye. The dialogue feels authentic, often reflective, and laced with subtle emotion that lingers long after the credits roll. It's not about big twists or action, but rather the quiet, meaningful moments that define us. A beautifully introspective game that rewards players who appreciate storytelling with heart and honesty. Struggling is one of the strangest hard puzzle platformer that distinguishes out for its unusual idea and sense of humor. You control a squishy, gooey monster with autonomously moving arms, and it's both humorous and tough. Even basic chores get chaotic due to the physics-based gameplay, but that's where the enjoyment is, especially when playing with a friend. The weird graphic style is surprisingly appealing, and the level design keeps everything interesting and unusual. It's strange, untidy, and entirely unique.